Hi guys. So today I'm gonna do this much requested video on Stoicism. The word stoic in itself, as you'll see, stoic, basically in today's dictionary, you'll find stoic means unfazed by the things happening around them. Like if there's a person, we say he's stoic, he's not bothered about the things happening around him. He's chill. The chill guy, in today's connotation, you can say, yeah, he's a stoic because he has mastered that emotional maturity within himself to be that person, to be stoic. How did stoicism originated? So there was this guy Zeno who started the philosophy of stoicism long back in Greece, I guess. Yeah, long back in Greece. So stoicism comes from the root stoa. Stoa means a porch. So these Greek people in the ancient times, they used to gather around a porch and they used to discuss their ideas, their philosophies, their thoughts. From the stoa, it basically became stoicism. So stoicism is basically portrayed as the philosophy of resilience, virtue, and rationality. It is more about like not giving out that much. It is about taking it all in and keeping it to yourself, being stable with your emotions. So, the core principle of Stoicism is living in accordance with nature. But how do you live in accordance with nature? So, first of all, you have to understand that there are some certain rules and some certain principles that the universe works upon. You cannot change them. This is how the universe is meant to be. The universe you are born into, this is how you have to function around it. Then you have to, so basically, the understanding of the universe, then you have to understand yourself. How are you? What kind of a person you are? Then you have to understand the society you are living in. What is this society? What is this society doing about me? What am I doing about this society? Then there is nature, the greenery, the wildlife, the everything. Like you go to nature, you'll see like there's a particular season and there are particular things that will happen in that particular season. If fruit is meant to sprout in spring, it will sprout in spring. If the leaves are meant to dry out and fall off in autumn, they will dry out and fall off in autumn. So there is an order to this universe, this nature, to yourself, to everything. And Stoicism basically asks you to accept this order and live in accordance with this order. Now, there are certain principles associated with Stoicism. So, the first one is the dichotomy of control. Now, you have to understand there are few things that you can control, and there are few things you cannot control. So, the things you cannot control, basically, you have to understand are the things that are the external things. You cannot control them. The government changed, you cannot control that. Your girlfriend broke up with you cannot control that. Your job fired you cannot control them. There's a war between India Pakistan, you cannot control that, right? But then there is this thing, what you can control. What you can control are your thoughts, are your actions. How do you think about this stuff happening around you? You can control that. And the actions after the thought you've had, you can also control that. So, Stoicism says to forget about these things you cannot control. It's okay to notice them, but don't pay them any heed. And just do what you're meant to do, man. Just work upon your thoughts and just work upon your actions. That is Stoicism. So, this was the dichotomy of choice. Then we have amor fati. So, what does amor fati means? Amor is love, Fati is faith. So Amor means love of faith. Love your fate, love your destiny. You're born into a certain family, you are somewhere right now, you're in a metro city, Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, Bangalore, anywhere. You are in a certain company, you are working with certain people, you have to accept that. That is what fate has assigned to you. Accept and love these people around you. Be a lover of faith. Yes, you can change that. Yes, you can change the scenario, but for now, you gotta love what you have around you. Then we have the concept of memento mori. Memento mori, memento remember, mori, I guess death. So memento mori basically means remember you will die. We as human beings, we do live our lives never thinking about death. But once you find someone close to you die, you realize that death is real and it is going to happen with you. You are gonna die. So what do these ancient philosophers used to do was they used to keep a skull on their desk. They had a real human skull placed on their desk to remind them every morning that you're gonna die, fucker. One day you're gonna die. So this was memento mori, because it's not to be taken negatively, but this will and this can impact you positively, right? Once you remember you're gonna die, you're gonna live this life in a better way. And there's this quote by Marcus Aurelius which just pops into my mind, like, consider you're already dead. Now your life is just some like extra points given to you, and live it how you actually want to live it, right? And the other core principle about Stoicism will be summum bonum. It is like the highest goal. Achieve the highest goal. Have the dream in your mind. Like, don't think of what a good man is. Become a good man, right? Now, the other core guiding principle would be premeditatio malorum. Like, premeditate your evils, or consider the worst case scenario. If you're getting into something new, if you are currently at some place, always think and know what is the worst that can happen with you and be content with it. Then what, right? You cannot just lose your shit. You have to stay stable. So premeditation mularum is like considering the worst case scenario. So these were the core principles of Stoicism, which can help people navigating their life. Now, some people might call Stoicism being emotionless, but it's not that. It's about being emotional, taking a look at your emotions from a distance, and being practical with your emotions, not just flowing in the flow of these emotions, these feelings, right? So you are not being emotionless, you are actually considering why are you having these emotions, what impact these emotions will have on your life, and then the actions reflect this analysis you have done of your emotions. That is Stoicism. And so, like I've already mentioned, like, this philosophy can actually help us a lot in real life, because in modern times we have a lot of stress. We have a stress regarding our career, regarding our relationships, regarding our financial well-being, right? So it can be used to manage your stress, it can be used to reduce your anxiety, it can be used to just be a chill guy. So return to philosophy when you are in pain, and this will guide you through your modern life. You have to remember, okay, this too shall pass. And we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Now, how can you bring it into practice? How can you actually practice Stoicism in your life? There are quite some practices that are proclaimed and said to help you through this journey in Stoicism. They can be like morning reflections. You wake up, you reflect about your yesterday, you write some things down, you could have done better, what happened good, right? Then you keep a journal, you write these stuff out. Then you do an evening reflection, you write what happened good in the day, what happened bad, what could have been better, right? And you're not multitasking in Stoicism. You are focused on one thing at a given time. You gotta do that. And you're not faced by the reactions you're getting from people. You are in your lane. Nothing bothers you. So there are obviously some counter arguments against Stoicism. The major one being from Nietzsche. Nietzsche, I've read his book Beyond Good and Evil. He destroyed the Stoics in his single page. So what did he has to say? He said that first of all, Stoicism is a contradiction. It says to live in accordance to nature, but it basically imposes their own ideals. If you have some ideals being imposed upon you, how can you live in accordance with nature, right? So he said that nature is chaotic and indifferent. Nature does not care about you. Nature does not has any rational, any morals, which is somewhat true. Some people are vegetarian, but that won't stop the lion from eating the deer, right? It won't stop it. Nature is chaotic and indifferent. Then he said that Stoicism is basically self resignation and self denial. You are denying the desires you have within you, and you're submitting to these some popular opinions that someone gave you, and you are reducing your human will to power, which is also true somewhat. So he also said that Stoicism suppresses your passions, your instincts, which are majorly necessary for living. And the whole point is like, how can you actually submit to nature? Because you are born into nature. Everything you do is nature. It is part of the nature. You can never be different from nature because you are nature. Human beings are not part. It's not like human beings are not part of nature. We are nature. We are the creation of nature. How can we ever do something which is not natural? So yeah, there has been some rebuttal, but I do still like in our tough times in modern days, our tough times in modern life, we can still resign to Stoicism and care less about the external things that are impacting our life and focus more on what we have to do ourselves. It helps us to soothe our way, but I'll recommend you not to use it as a guiding principle for life because it might make your life a little boring. We have to have those passions and use those desires. What is life without desires, right? So yeah, that's it from my side. See ya.